gosh, it's so good to see you. Wait, what did you just ask? Did you just ask me how is the Snohomish housing market doing in Snohomish, Washington? I am so glad you asked. I was hoping I could catch up with you today and go over just that exact thing. So why don't you grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage? I'm going to grab a cup of coffee and we can just sit and chat and talk about how the housing market's doing. Now that we're settled in, let's just get right into how the housing market's doing in the Snohomish area, and we're going to go over the numbers for the month of February 2025. And before we get started going over the numbers, we're also going to take a look at all of Snohomish cities. So we're going to look at both 98290 and 98296, and since they're very different, we're going to look at them a little separately here and there, and then also together as a whole. So prices are moving, but not in the same direction. What do I mean by that? Let's get into the big question of how the actual housing prices are doing. How are they doing? Well, if you look at the stats, it's a little interesting. So if we're looking at Snohomish altogether with both zip codes and looking at previously owned and new construction, the median home price for right now is $985,000. And that's gone down 7.1% since last time this year. This is where things get a little interesting. For 98290, overall for new construction and previously owned, the median home prices have actually remained pretty steady. They increased by just about 0.5%. But when we take new construction out of the stats and solely look at resale homes, which we should be doing because most of the homes for sale are actually resale homes in 98290. The median home price has gone up about 5%, and the new median home price in 98290 is $950,000. For our friends in 98296 zip code, and looking at new construction and previously owned together, the median home price actually increased by 6.8%, and the median home price is just about $1,160,000. Now, when things get really interesting is if we take new construction out of the equation. When we're looking only at resale, that is the shocking number. So homes for resale in 98296 jumped up by 33.3% in the median home price, and the median home price is coming in at $1,425,000. I don't know about you, but that doesn't quite make sense. But if you read that on paper, you'd be like, oh my goodness, 33%, I better sell my home. I mean, maybe, but before you go running out and putting a for sale sign out in your front yard, let's really analyze that number and see what's going on. After really looking at what types of homes just sold within those 5 homes, 3 of them were massive homes. I mean, we're talking 4,000 and above square feet, and they're sitting on at least half an acre to way more acreage. So these are not just your standard 98296 homes. So definitely on the luxury, high luxury end of homes. And they also sat for quite a while. Almost all of them sat for over 90 days. So in that market, homes will sell at that level. They're going to take a little longer. And also they all went under asking. So sellers, just be prepared and know that buyers are looking to negotiate. So let's talk about more what's really selling in overall Snohomish. And we're going to focus on previously owned homes right now. So on paper, the stats look pretty good. We are up 41% on new listings coming on the market from this time over last year. But when you look at the numbers, we only had 35 new homes come on the market. So 35 homes for all of Snohomish is not a whole heck of a lot. Pending sales are outpacing our closed sales, which definitely shows that buyers are on the hunt and moving forward with their transactions and getting their purchases to the closing table. Only 34 new homes coming on the market. We definitely are having low inventory levels. And just so you know, a balanced market is actually anywhere between 4 to 6 months worth of supply of homes. Right now we're at about 0.7, so we're not even at a full month of supply of homes. So Sellers do have an advantage here, but with the increasing amount of home values and the interest rates that are hovering anywhere between 6 to 7%, which we've seen for quite some time now, the past year, year and a half, it is definitely pinching the pocketbooks of buyers. So sellers, be aware of that when you are putting your house on the market. And if you have no idea what your house is worth, contact me. I'd love to chat and we could grab a cup of coffee, connect over a Zoom, however you'd like to communicate. But you need somebody who you can trust and guide you through that whole selling process so you don't sit on the market for 90 plus days. And also, if you are thinking about selling, the likelihood of you actually receiving an offer on your home is pretty high, especially if you have a good product. So if you have something that's turnkey, move-in ready, that is going to be in high demand. Buyers don't necessarily want to do a lot of work to something that they're spending a lot of money on and then have to spend even more money to get it move-in ready. So if your home isn't turnkey ready, definitely want to price it accordingly so you do get interest from those buyers that are out there. The other thing to consider is that we live in an expensive area. Houses are expensive. Everything is pretty expensive. Beautiful, but expensive. When you compare our median home price just in Snohomish at $950,000 compared to the median national home price, which is about $420,000, that is a bit of a sticker shock, especially for people coming from out of state. I do work with people relocating all the time, and sometimes they don't feel comfortable actually ending up making the move because it is just too expensive. So you can't do anything about that, obviously, but just remember that the buyers out there are trying. They want to buy something that is a home to them. And little by little, as the market increases and the interest rates also increase, some buyers are just getting completely shut out from buying altogether. So we talked a lot about previously owned homes, but wait, what about new construction? Should you be concerned about that? Yes, you should be concerned about new construction and what's going on in your area. As a homeowner, you always want to kind of keep tabs as to what is going on around you. And new construction is competition, especially with these kind of interest rates right now and how the home values are. New builds are that much more attractive to buyers. As a homeowner, you always want to keep your eye out on what's going on around you with any sort of housing. So new construction, previously owned homes, anything is your competition. And right now, I would say that new construction is a big competitor of resale because builders are able to offer incentives that sellers aren't necessarily offering. So I know like right now in Cathcart Crossing, the townhomes that are being sold, there are definitely incentives being offered by the builder and is buying down the rate for, a certain amount of time or just helping out the buyer with closing costs. So you have those sort of incentives going on, and it's move-in, brand new, no maintenance required, and that is just a lot less stressful to some buyers. And yes, a townhouse doesn't really compare to a standard traditional home, but if that's all you're, able to afford and your dollar is going to stretch that much more because you don't have to do any repairs, some buyers are actually leaning that way. Going to save up for a bit and then maybe make that move into the traditional home. It's also good to kind of put yourself in the buyer's position and also look at your home as a buyer. See, what are you offering? Does it justify the price that you're going on the market for? There are also some new homes in the downtown-ish Snohomish area, and those homes are priced really well. They can have upwards of $30,000 of buyer incentives. So that is going to attract a lot of buyers that are just like, that's it. I don't have any extra money. I don't want to make any repairs. I'm buying new construction. And with $30,000, if you can get that much, that's a pretty awesome deal. So anyway, you You always want to be aware of your competition and what's going on around you. As a homeowner, it's always a good idea to know how the market's doing, just so you're always kind of aware how your investment is doing. And if you're thinking about selling, what should you be concerned with? Well, the takeaways from this video is number one, pricing strategy is key. We're seeing a lot of buyers kind of waiting on the sidelines, waiting for price drops. Buyers are not necessarily writing low offers right off the bat. They're just kind of waiting and seeing what's going on. So to avoid that, connect with me and we'll go over your strategy and the reason why you're selling and what makes sense for you and your personal situation. Second, presentation matters. What does your product look like? I said before, buyers are definitely feeling the pinch in their pocketbooks, and the funds to fix up a home that's at the top of their budget is really not a reality. So the closer your home is to turnkey move-in ready, the better off you are in probably likely to sell for asking price. And the last one is timing is definitely on your side right now. We still are in low inventory, so competition is still pretty low for you. And so the likelihood, again, of you getting an offer is pretty good. So serious buyers are out there and they're looking to make a move as long as they see the value in what your product is. So here's the big picture. Buyers are still out there, houses are still selling, but pricing, presentation, and strategy are the big things right now. If you're thinking about selling, it's all about setting yourself up for success. If you don't know where to begin, make sure you reach out and connect. We can grab a cup of coffee, talk about what your individual goals are, and how we can proceed from there. If you just want to keep your eye on the market, make sure you subscribe and watch out for more Snohomish market video updates, as well as different cities. And if there's a certain city that I'm not covering, make sure you drop it down in the comments below. We definitely have some interesting trends to watch, and I'll be breaking them down for you, just like in this video. Stay tuned for more updates, community spotlights, and tips that'll help you sell smarter. A lot coming up that you won't want to miss. See you next time.